Coming up next on this edition of In the City, did you know the library could come to you? All you need is a library card. Plus, if you love coffee and need to get some exercise in your schedule, we have the perfect opportunity for you. And lots of people are feeling down this time of year, but what can be done about it? But first, Murfreesboro Police Chief retires after a long career in law enforcement. We'll tell you all about it and more coming up right now on this edition of In the City. Welcome to another edition of In the City, your source for what's happening right here in the city of Murfreesboro. I'm Cecilia Herrell. Murfreesboro Police Chief Glenn Chrisman has retired from law enforcement after 40 years of service to Murfreesboro residents. Chrisman was hired on with the Murfreesboro Police Department in December of 1976.
On behalf of the City Council, and I would say on behalf of the residents of Murfreesboro, you have been a blessing to this community. Your footprints and your handprints are all over the many things that are in this community, and you will not be forgotten.
Chief, on behalf of the TBI and on behalf of me personally, I've never had a better supporter than you, and I appreciate it. This reads, an appreciation for your dedicated service as Chief of Police for the Murfreesboro Police Department and your invaluable assistance to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. I present you with a replica of the official seal of the TBI and wish you the best on your retirement and continued success in your future endeavors.
Chief Chrisman has served our city with great honor and distinction. I've admired his ability to bring calm during unrest, wisdom during difficult situations, compassion when needed, and leadership that was fair, consistent, and true. He's made our city, our police department, and our employees better, and he's performed his duties with deep humility. His faithful service to our community is something to celebrate. Chief, thank you for doing your best.
On behalf of the City Council and all the employees, staff of the City of Murfreesboro, we want to give Police Chief Glenn Chrisman in recognition of your dedication and service to the City of Murfreesboro, December 30th, 2015, the key to the city.
We thought it not robbery to come and say thank you for the work that you have given and the demonstration you've shown to this community, the type of the police department you have established, one that is community oriented. If Mayberry wasn't real, we would call this Mayberry instead of calling it Murfreesboro. You put me in the mind of Andy Taylor because he cared and you care.
I guess the thing people ask me what I'm going to miss, I'll miss all of you, and I'll miss the things that you do every day that make me so proud. I told some people at roll call this morning, all of you make me proud to wear this uniform every day. You make me proud to wear this badge every day. And I thank you for what you do every day to make this city a better place, a safer place for all the people that live here, work here, raise families here, go to school here. Mayor Joe Jackson used to say the secret was out about Murfreesboro. And part of that secret is all of you and what you do to make this city such a great place. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing some part of you with me and for making my life richer and better as a result. I thank you, and I'm forever humbled and indebted to you. Thank you.
Do you or someone you know love reading but can't get to the library? We may have a solution, and it's called the Linebaugh Bookmobile. I rode along to see what all the hype is about. Did you know the city of Murfreesboro has its very own library on wheels? The Linebaugh Public Library System has its very own rolling library, and it's called the Bookmobile. This unique vehicle is one of only 2 in the state of Tennessee, and this particular Bookmobile was purchased in 2005 with funds contributed by the public and by charitable foundations. The exterior features graphics by local artist Norris Hall that celebrates our regional landmarks. There are over 4,000 books contained on the shelves of this Bookmobile, and any subject you can find at the main branch of the library you can also find on the Bookmobile. Over 14,000 people visit the Bookmobile or use its services every year. You may see the colorful Bookmobile rolling through the community at civic events, school festivals, or en route to any of their regular weekly stops.
We reach out to the community, we get books to people that might not be able to get to the library to get their own books. Some people get too old to drive, they can't see well enough to drive, they don't feel well enough to drive. We bring the books to them.
The Bookmobile assists all ages of the community, ranging from children to even the elderly. The Rolling Library visits 7 different retirement and assisted living facilities in the Rutherford County area, serving over 75 people each week at these stops alone. Some of these stops are extra special because the Bookmobile makes deliveries directly to people in the facilities, getting to know them personally and giving them access not only to the items on the Bookmobile, but from the main branches as well.
We're fast friends, and I feel like I've got aunts and uncles and grandparents all over the community now.
Linebaugh Library is able to provide materials from libraries nationwide through their interlibrary loan program, which is beneficial to many requesting certain book titles. Best of all, to use this service, all you need is a library card. If your agency, school, or organization would like to be added to the Bookmobile route, you can contact Linebaugh Library. Reporting for CityTV, I'm Cecilia Herrell. If you want to learn more about the Bookmobile or any services the Linebaugh Public Library offers, you can visit www.linebaugh.org. Well, many people have trouble getting the motivation to get out of the house during the cold weather, but one city department has an event to help. During these cold winter months, it's hard to gather up the motivation to get moving. The City of Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Department has just what you need to get you up and going. That's the 3rd annual Coffee Marathon.
The Coffee Marathon, we started out with an idea of trying to make exercise fun. And the Coffee Marathon came about in the winter because we have a hard time getting people outside in the winter. We have plenty of stuff to do in the spring and the fall and the summer and all that, but winter is a little more difficult. So we thought, well, let's coffee, we'll warm people up, and marathon, why not?
The Coffee Marathon is a 26.2-mile course that takes you up to 7 different coffee shops around Murfreesboro. The routes take you by Sportscom, the Wilderness Station, Josara Coffee Shop on North Thompson Lane, Just Love Coffee Roasters, Paul Bunk's Natural Marketing Cafe on the square, City Cafe that is also on the square, and Yummy Donuts just off Old Fort Parkway. When you complete the marathon, you receive a handmade coffee cup valued at $25 from a local potter at Red Oak Pottery.
The Coffee Marathon also helps local businesses, and that was another thought of ours, was to keep it local. We want to support our local businesses, so all the coffee shops are local. It would probably be easy to get some of the other chains, which we won't mention, but we wanted to keep it local. So we were going to give t-shirts, sweatshirts when you finish, and one of the people that works out here, he's an avid biker, came in one day and he saw I was doing this, and he said, Jennifer, I'm a potter. I work out of Las Casas. Why don't we give him a coffee cup? It's a coffee marathon, let's give him a coffee cup. So that's how the coffee cup came about. But we just encourage everybody to come out and do it and make it it's a very reasonable distance for each coffee shop. I think the longest coffee shop we have is the Paul Bunk's coffee shop, and that is 5.7 miles. It does go through MTSU's campus, and we tell people you can do half of it now and half of it later, or however you wish to do it, as long as you walk that 26.2 miles.
The marathon takes place January 2nd through April 2nd for just $25. With this marathon, you have complete control over when and how you participate. You can run, walk, divide the marathon up into sections, or do it all at once. If you want to learn more or register for this event, please visit our website at www.murfreesborotn.gov. Reporting for CityTV, I'm Cecilia Herrell. During this time of year, it's easy to feel a little under the weather, but what can be done about it? Unfortunately, it's that time of year when many people feel down. When the seasons change, our moods tend to change as well. Is it just the winter blues, or is it something more serious like seasonal affective disorder?
Seasonal affective disorder, known as SAD, is a type of depression. It is a depression that some folks get with the change of seasons. There are actually a couple of different kinds. There's a type which is the most common that starts usually in the fall and goes through the winter. And then there's also, believe it or not, one that starts in the spring and can go through the summer, but that's not nearly as common. Most of the time for the fall SAD, which like I said is the most common, you're going to start seeing signs of that through the fall months when the days start getting shorter, when it's darker earlier, when you don't have as much sunshine basically in your day. Well, if you are actually diagnosed with the SAD, then a lot of times one of the first lines of treatment that they'll do is the photosensitive therapy, the light therapy. You can actually buy a light that kind of mimics outdoor light, mimics sunshine, and that has been shown to actually improve people that have the disorder, that improves your mood. Because again, the SAD a lot of times comes from having less of the benefits of sunlight in your day. Well, most of us have some depression or maybe some sadness or moody blue type feelings during the fall or the winter because of the less sunlight. And that's normal to have some days here and there like that. Like recently we've had so many gloomy days and days without sun. But if you get to the point where that is a normal for you, where you're having that regularly, where you're having a hard time getting up and doing your normal activities, if you of course have any kind of suicidal thoughts or anything like that, then you definitely need to see your doctor. But if it's something that just becomes more of a regular thing for you, then you need to see your doctor about that.
The Murfreesboro Police and Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue Departments had one of 4 groundbreakings on new communication towers. These towers will provide the best communication possibilities for emergency personnel.
Well, good morning. We are glad to have all of you with us this morning for the groundbreaking for what will be the first of several communications towers that will be built over the next several months. These towers will be the first of some significant infrastructure improvements for the city of Murfreesboro, particularly for its public safety agencies, for police and fire. These will provide the infrastructure for a public safety communication system that will not only serve the needs of our city today, but for many, many years in the future. If we go back to the history of what 9/11 taught us, one of the first things that came out of the report following that tragedy was the need for interoperable communications, particularly for police and fire departments. And our city has worked very diligently and been very supportive of our efforts to expand the capacity and the transmit-receive range of our two-way radio systems for police and fire. And so in order for us to have a network that supports that portable radio, we have to have good infrastructure, which means we have to have towers, we have to have transmit and receive capability across the city. The tower network is a tremendous step in that direction, and not only will provide that communications infrastructure for generations, but also will allow the city to have control of that two-way radio infrastructure.
I heard a police officer say one time when a bad guy wants to run from them, there's one thing they know, you can't outrun the radio. And this tower will be another piece of our behind-the-scenes equipment and technology that we use to provide public safety, not only for our residents, but especially for our police officers and firefighters. So we are glad that this will be yet another component in our communications infrastructure to keep our community safe and our personnel safe.
This is a very important project for the safety of our police officers and our firefighters. I want to thank Chief Chrisman and Bill Terry and all the others for the work that they've done on this project, dating a long way back, long before I came here. This is a great project for us. It's going to enhance safety of all of our firefighting staff, all of the police officers in the area, and then greatly enhance public safety.
The tower portion of this project is estimated at approximately $2.2 million, and that will involve the construction of 4 towers initially, one here at Blackman, one at the Coleman property out north of the city, one at Marshall Knob to the south. We will have a tower constructed at what is Station 4 now over by Mitchell Nilsson to give us better coverage in the inner city area. So with that, gentlemen, I think we're ready to grab a shovel and maybe move a little dirt. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shovels in the ground.
The Graves & Graves Construction Company are constructing the towers at a cost of around $2.3 million. Well, we are all looking for ways to save money, especially residents that live on a fixed income. And there are 2 new programs that are being offered by the City of Murfreesboro that will help your finances in 2016.
How would you like to have your membership to Sportscom and Patterson Park paid in full? The Parks and Recreation is rolling out 2 new programs that could do just that.
Healthways is the company that we're working with, and our first program that we're doing is with the prime level of insurance companies. Now, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and then apparently federal workers, those insurances support that. There's no age restriction on the prime. And what that means is that if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, you have the opportunity to be able to go online to Blue Cross Blue Shield and sign up for their prime level plan. And under that prime level plan, your membership here would be of no cost to you. The bigger one that we're doing, that everybody's looking towards, is the Silver Sneakers program. Okay. That is more of an age-restricted policy, and it's connected with Medicare. So if you believe that you're eligible for that, you can go to silversneakers.com. It's a very simple box at the bottom where you just put your name and your email address and your date of birth, and you should be able to tell from all of that. They'll tell you if you're eligible. That same website, if you are eligible, you go there and you can print out your voucher, your card, and then that was what you would bring to us to prove your eligibility, and then we'll sign you up for the program here. That includes the free membership to Patterson and Sportscom.
Included with the Silver Sneakers Fitness program will be specific exercise classes. That equipment will be included.
We will be holding Silver Sneakers classes, and that's going to take a little bit of time just because we kind of have to get the equipment and train the people, but we will be offering those classes starting here at Sportscom, and then we'll work those over into Patterson as their schedule goes.
The City Council had to give their approval to this program as it passed unanimously.
I want to commend the staff at Parks and Rec. This is, to me, that you're looking at these kind of alternative ways to provide health so people can look at their health alternatives and partner with them into being healthier. There are a lot of residual effects that when our public is healthier, we all benefit. So I appreciate that.
The insurance companies have decided that it's beneficial for them to pay for a gym membership for their participants, and they're noticing that those participants who exercise on a regular basis, they're requiring less from the insurance company than those who don't. Hopefully we'll be able to get a wider range of physical abilities.
After nearly 31 years of service to the City of Murfreesboro, the Transportation Director Dana Richardson retires this month.
I thought it was just an appropriate time given my age, really young enough to do several different things, so I thought that this was a good appropriate time to try something else.
After nearly 31 years with the City of Murfreesboro, Transportation Director Dana Richardson is retiring. The 52-year-old Wilson County native studied electrical engineering and began working for the city in 1985.
When I started working for the city, the population was about 37,000 in the city of Murfreesboro.
Today, the city's population is around 124,000. Traffic signals alone have grown from 44 to 144.
When I started, I purposely started to work with the traffic signals because we had just bought them out. The city of Murfreesboro did from the Murfreesboro Electric Department. We paid $103,000 to buy the 44 signalized intersections from MED, but the purpose of that was to try to better implement and apply engineering principles to the signalization, try to do more for the efficiencies of the signals as relates to the traveling public and so forth. And over the years, we've gone from a lot of old electromechanical machines to very sophisticated systems now.
Modernizing the city's traffic control system, Richardson helped implement a new closed-circuit TV camera system.
You can see that behind me. We implemented that in 1998 and I think started out with about 13 intersections. We have 32 cameras around the city now. And this was not just to be able to see the roads, but it was in fact in addition to the signal program, whereas we can remotely see what's happening on the roadways.
Operators can change traffic signal timing from the operations center, then see the results instantly.
Our CCTV system, for instance, was the first in the state of Tennessee to be implemented at all and be incorporated into a traffic signal and use that as a philosophy for trying to improve traffic operations.
Richardson credits a forward-thinking city council in the late 1980s and early 90s for helping spearhead the new approach to traffic congestion.
I think it's definitely made a big difference, and it's low-cost differences. Timing changes, once implemented, can be done on a daily basis, can be done on a time of day, and they're very low cost as opposed to construction-based type of solutions to traffic congestion.
Construction-based solutions have been required. I-24 has added interchanges.
When I first started, we only had 2 interchanges, being at I-24 and 231 and I-24 State Route 96. We've since added several to that mix, and that is a function of forward transportation planning and trying to get ahead of the growth that we know is coming.
Transportation planning has required Richardson and his team to get ahead of growth by planning projects a decade in advance, so proper funding is secured.
So if you see a project on the city council agenda that is going out for bid and we're recommending an award of a bid, sometimes these have been worked on 10 years before the things ever become really public and really are into the implementation stage.
Even before the public recognized something needed to change at the Broad and Memorial intersection, Richardson and TDOT had started in 1996 to study alternatives to the busy crossroad. Most widening solutions wouldn't last beyond the 25-plus horizon, so a longer-term solution, an overpass, was adopted.
It takes more time now to develop any project, especially in the state and federal funding realm. There is a lot of regulatory and procedural type of things that have to be undertaken that we not necessarily do on a locally funded project. So part of being able to use the federal and state money and to minimize the input of local funding sources, whether it be property or sales tax, the trade-off is that some of these projects do take longer.
Richardson also started Murfreesboro's first fixed-route mass transit system in 2007, better known as Rover. Ridership has increased every year with 280,000 trips currently.
So it's been incredibly successful. And this was, I think, something that Mayor Bragg at the time was very much instrumental in supporting and putting forward and charged us with implementing the system, and we've done that. Our first buses that we bought were 16-passenger buses, and the ones that we finally upgraded to after the original ones had reached their minimum useful life, we upgraded those to a 21-passenger bus. So as our ridership continues to grow, we'll keep looking at that, and if we need larger buses, then the time to do that would be when the new purchase rolls around for more equipment.
Even before Rover, the city had entered public transportation in 1996 in partnership with RTA.
We entered into an agreement with the Regional Transportation Authority to fund trips back and forth to Nashville. This was really done in the conjunction with the widening of I-24 from 4 to 8 lanes back at that time.
In 2012, RTA expanded from 16 trips to 31 trips a day to and from Nashville. Now, with the city's growth adding to congestion on I-24, talk of a monorail system is picking up steam. Growth and traffic challenges require transportation planners to get ahead of the curve.
Thompson Lane and Cherry Lane and Braidwell Pike are really good examples of what I was saying before, is that I've been working on those for years. Those projects have been in the development phase. We were doing interchange justification studies. We were doing transportation planning reports and the things that are required to actually get from point A to point B in project implementation. Once you decide that a roadway is terribly congestion, it's over capacity, you've missed the boat.
Updating the city's major thoroughfare plan requires expanding the horizon beyond 2025 to 2040.
I think the biggest change in the transportation industry over the years would be the multimodalism aspect of transportation.
The federal government started to connect funding with the willingness to move away from vehicle-centric networks.
We started our first bicycle program back in 1995. In fact, the first bike lanes that were put on the road in the city of Murfreesboro were actually River Rock Boulevard. And since then, we've added many miles of bike lanes on various roads.
The Greenway is another transportation system designed to increase walking and biking as an alternative to automobiles.
I think that at that point in time, there were people that were somewhat skeptical about building a Greenway system. I could probably count myself amongst those. I am very glad to say, in looking back, that I was probably wrong at that. That has been extremely successful.
Bike lanes are being added to new widening projects on Thompson and Cherry Lane as part of the city's long-range interconnected transportation system. But Richardson says the biggest challenge has always been funding.
The funding has been something that has recently been exacerbated. It's something that's really become a public issue now. Recently, the governor and the commissioner of the Department of Transportation have been traveling around the state of Tennessee trying to get the issue out in front of everybody to know that the gas taxes that ultimately fund our transportation system, whether it be federal or state gas tax, are no longer sufficient to provide us with the adequacy and transportation infrastructure that we need.
Richardson says Highway 99, New Salem Road, is an example of a project that is ready to go to construction, but on hold due to lack of funding.
So until the funding issue gets resolved, then we are going to be waiting and waiting on that roadway, and with the growth that we have, it's only going to get worse. That is an immediate concern. Department of Transportation has pretty much gone to a maintenance-only state, and as such, that will not support the growth, and the lack of transportation infrastructure to accommodate that growth is going to be a huge challenge, and it is really going to impinge on the quality of life, not only in Murfreesboro, but in the state, and especially this region as well.
Despite the challenges, Richardson credits his longevity, spanning 3 decades with the city, with a deep interest in transportation and what he calls an incredible team of employees.
The employees of the city of Murfreesboro are some of the best that I know around the state, and that made it real easy to work here, and conversely, that kind of is one of the things that makes it the hardest to leave, is that I would be leaving some of my colleagues and good friends that I've worked with a number of years.
The city of Murfreesboro has greatly benefited from Richardson's knowledge and dedication to transportation. Replacing his expertise will be a challenge. Mike Browning, CityTV.
Well, that's it for this edition of In the City. For more information about the city of Murfreesboro, you can always visit our website at murfreesborotn.gov. And if you want to see one of the stories that you've seen today or catch up on some of the latest city news, you can always visit the City of Murfreesboro's YouTube channel. I'm Cecilia Herrell, and until next time, we look forward to seeing you in the city.